Of course, of course. What does Islam say about gender dysphoria? If diagnosed, can one undergo a gender transformation? You see, I want to speak about this. Let me... people... All right. Let me loosen up. Right, gender dysphoria. Right, so look. Gender dysphoria is when a person is confused about their gender, or they feel they are the other gender. Nowadays we get confused, how many genders are there? I'm like, are there still two? Are we still running on two? Or is there like what's going on? What do we... You see, so people like, as a man, you say, oh, I'm actually a woman trapped inside a man's body. Or as a woman, you go one day, oi, I'm actually a man. Oh, Sultan Rai, oi, trapped inside a woman's body. And I think, you see, there are multiple issues to be tackled here. One issue is that, like, first of all, where these cases are legitimate biological concerns, I believe that there is permissibility where there are legitimate biological concerns, and the medical experts can have their input and say what those issues are, and the person can have their own introspective analysis. And I feel Islam has a catering element for that. I do believe that. But I want to come to some other very important points here. You see, I think part of this new age, people are creating unnecessary confusion. I understand, look, if somebody is gay, let them be. That's their life, it's their choice, and nobody has the right to persecute them. I support that, I believe that, okay? Now, but on the back of all of this, there's this push to kind of enable confusion. That, oh, are you really a boy? Are you really a girl? You can be a girl if you want. You know, oh, you can be a woman. You can be... Just putting unnecessary doubt into people. Children, they want to put doubt into children. I think that is bang out of order. I am honestly, firmly against creating doubt for children. I think that is a form of abuse. I think it's good to, at this level, what you should say to children is, look, when you're discussing things like, let's say, gender roles, or like relationships, you could say, look, husband, wife, like they teach children. Like my young daughter is 4 years old. And she knows the concept, husband, wife. She knows these things. She's seen it on TV. She's seen it, let's say, in real life. She's seen it, she's been told about it at school. Now, to say, look, this is how it happens. By the way, some people might get married if they want to, and they haven't done this at her school, but if they wanted to say, look, some people get married, even men, some men get married and some women get married to themselves. I think that's fine. I've got personally no problem if they want to say that. You can say that, look, if they do that, that's fine. Some men and men get married, some women and women get married, but generally you have this husband-wife scenario. Right, okay. Some Muslims are against that. I'm not. I think that's fine. Homosexual people do exist in societies, and there's no harm in creating an awareness about that. But what is wrong is to kind of say to these children that, oh, just because you look like a girl doesn't mean you're a girl. Do you want to be a boy? You know, do you feel you're a boy? You could be a boy if you want to be a boy. You know, or saying to a boy, oh, just because you look like a boy doesn't mean do you want to be a girl? Do you want a girl's name? I was seriously so shocked. If this be true, I heard there was a school that said as a mandatory task that you have to write on Valentine's Day a letter to a love letter to a friend of the same gender. If that be true, that is disgusting. That is abuse. You can't do these kind of things. You can't say you have to write a love letter. You can say, look, write a love letter even if it's to the same gender. That's your choice. But you can't say, write everybody, today's exercise, everybody's going to be gay and we're going to write a letter to, that you can't be forcing these kind of things on children and confusing them or telling them things like this, creating doubts. So that's something I think that needs to be tackled. So I agree with this. I'm against that kind of, that intensity of confusion. Another thing I want to pick up on here, okay, is, you know, in this day and age, people, I don't know what it is. Look, I'm all up for women's rights. I always support women's rights as much as I can. I've always been about empowering women wherever they need to be empowered. I feel that Islam empowers them. I've always spoken out for equal rights Islamically, that whether it's going to be in the will, whether it's going to be in terms of inheritance, I've given the kind of diversity, the different opinions, whether it's on things like that abuse is unacceptable under all circumstances, that so on. So I've spoken out, and I continue to do that because I believe in that. Okay. That said, I seriously do not understand the problem of this age against masculinity. There seems to be this hatred against men being men. And I don't know what that is about. Like, why do people hate on men? Like, they call it toxic masculinity. Why is it toxic? Like, if you asked me, what is one of the most attractive features of women, obviously, apart from, I could obviously list out I could say, wait, here's images. Obviously, apart from like all men, you could list all the physical attributes, I'm sure. But one of the most major attractive features for me as a person in a woman is femininity. I'm assuming most men, if not all men, are so overwhelmingly attracted to femininity. Like, they just are, like, they're just programmed. We're just obviously programmed to the physical features as well, but we're programmed to be attracted to. And I'm assuming it must be vice versa. I'm assuming, and some reports show that even these very, man-hating, feminist kind of women are still attracted to men like that are very kind of masculine. But I don't... Look, whether you like it or don't like it, that's up to you. I'm not saying everybody has to be very kind of macho or they have to be like that. Everybody can just be their natural selves. But why hate on masculinity? Like, why hate on it? What's wrong with a man being... A man should be a man, for God's sake. Not a half an excuse for one. Like, what? I don't get that. Like, and people are like, oh, but men should be all kind of soft and should be kind of like effeminate. And look, if you're naturally like that, fine. I've got no problem with if you're naturally all kind of soft and very kind of effeminate. Just don't hang around. Don't hang around the gym changing rooms. Don't end up in prison. And whatever you do, don't go to madrasa. Just beware of that trinity. But I'm saying, look, if a person is naturally like that, that's fine. But what is this push on hating on men who are masculine? Like, oh, this is, like men, okay, they say, but why do men have to like, let's say men like this kind of persona of being tough or being kind of like strong or they have that kind of macho, they look up to that macho thing. Oh, that's wrong, that's evil. Why is it evil? Why? But that's men that say, oh, but men should cry more. They should be more in touch with. Look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be in touch with yourself. And true, many men find it difficult to express their emotions sometimes. And I'm all for encouraging people to do that. Trying to be... But you don't need to say like, oh, everybody should just be like all kind of, But honestly, every time I read this, it's like, I see online so much, and I see American kind of like movements very strong in this. You know, I see a lot of American social media that is pushing all this toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity. And I feel like we're like a dying breed. A lot of the men are not men anymore. They're just like, just half an excuse for one. And so I don't know, man. Like, yeah, like very camp. You gotta be camp to be like a man now. You know, there should be gender fluidity. You know, it doesn't really make a difference. And it's like, get out of here, man. I'm sure that women must find real men attractive. Not like I mean, like, they must do, because if men find that femininity attractive, then it must be by the laws of nature, vice versa. I don't buy that they find this campness all very attractive. I mean, maybe they do, but I find it very difficult to believe. But I just think, look, if you're naturally like that, fine, but stop hating on men. But yes, condemn abuse wherever it happens. Condemn the deprivation of rights and things like this. I'm all with you, and I support you wholeheartedly. But yeah, that's my so somebody said, what is a real man? Chaudhry Saab, don't worry, don't worry, Ibrahim. You'll find out. Just go to madrasa. They'll introduce you to a few real. I'm joking. I said joking. I'm the joking.